Amelia Warner says she can't forgive Jamie. When the pain is too great, forgiveness becomes a luxury. The film media was shaken by a headline: Amelia Warner refuses to forgive Jamie Dornan, when the pain is too great to allow forgiveness. The headline was like a cold sword, piercing the reader's heart. Top entertainment websites, TV magazines, social media channels were all abuzz with this content. Immediately, the news spread like wildfire. Longtime fans, who had hoped for love between Jamie and Amelia, were stunned. Some felt betrayed, some angry with Jamie, some pitied Amelia. In a secluded apartment on the coast of Cornwall, Amelia Warner sat by the glass door looking out at the ocean, the silver waves crashing against the shore. In her heart, the news was like a knife stabbing deep into an unhealed scar. She knew that she had no choice but to forgive, at least not right now, because in her heart, the pain was too great to allow forgiveness. The time before the storm, they were a loyal couple praised by the press. Jamie Dornan and Amelia Warner met at a music awards ceremony. Amelia was a pianist, Jamie was a rising actress. At first, it was small talk, light music evenings, words of encouragement between hard work hours. They gradually got along. He admired her sophistication and depth. She appreciated the sincerity and passion in his eyes. Their love went through a few years with a rare smoothness. Few scandals, only times they debuted music events together, went to recording sessions together, lived in quiet moments together. In the eyes of outsiders, they were a no-storm couple. But every relationship has its silent challenges. During those years, there were nights when Amelia cried silently while waiting for Jamie's late flight. There were times when Jamie was disappointed when she couldn't attend filming because she had to compose music for her own project. The distances of time, of professional aspirations, gradually created a gap between them. Then little rumors appeared, of late-night phone calls, of rumors on set, of psychological distance. No one could confirm them, because they did not speak up. But suspicion crept in like a thin fog, unclear, but haunting. Until one day, the day the shock officially broke, an email, a news report, a leak, saying that Jamie Dornan had an affair, or at least something between him and someone else while his relationship with Amelia was strained. Although the information was unverified, public opinion rose. Amelia received articles, messages, inquiries from friends, from the media. She tried to stay calm, tried to believe Jamie, tried to fill the small cracks, but the more she tried, the more she felt the pain spread. There was not only anger in her heart, but also disappointment, a sense of betrayal, an echo of her damaged self-esteem. The day the news was announced, that morning, Amelia woke up to a text message from her manager: "Big news is about to be announced. Please prepare." She stood there, her hands shaking, looking out at the blue sea waiting for the shore. She knew, if she did not speak up, people would write for her, would create a version of the story that did not belong to her. The media held a press conference in London, where Jamie Dornan appeared, with a serious face. He admitted to mistakes, rash choices, but he said, "I don't want to name anyone, but I apologize for hurting Amelia." The news was like salt in Amelia's heart as she watched the live stream of the press conference on her laptop screen. It felt like a blow. When "I'm sorry" was said in public, but "I'm sorry," the words she was waiting for, was left silent. She wrote a long status on her personal page: "I don't deny the hurt. I don't try to make a big deal out of it. But I also don't accept letting others speak for my pain." You say, sorry, but what apology is big enough to erase the lonely nights, the waiting, the confused times wondering if I'm worthy? I don't object to you trying to do the right thing, but I can't immediately extend forgiveness when the wound is still fresh. The status went viral. Many people shared and supported her, while others criticized her for being irrationally angry. But Amelia knew, she didn't need people to understand, she just needed to understand herself. The confrontation within, Amelia returned to her room, where the piano had once been, where the late-night music had once been, where Jamie's warm eyes had once watched her as she played. Now there was only emptiness, the echo of memories. She sat at the piano, lightly touching the keys. The sound echoed quietly, like a voice speaking to herself. She recorded a small piece, called The Unforgivable Wound. In the music, she poured her pain, her anger, her desire to start over. For the next few days, Amelia refused to give major interviews, retreating into her world, music, writing, her garden in Cornwall. She wrote, she composed, she cried, she was silent. Those close to her listened. She said, "I don't want to go back, at least not now." The wound needs time. Jamie was also closely followed by the press during that time. He appeared less frequently than before, answering through his manager. But the public is still curious. Will Amelia forgive? Will there be a reconciliation in the end? The bell of the past. One rainy night, Amelia received a letter, not sent via social media, but a physical letter, a handwritten envelope, inside a blank sheet of paper. Amelia, I don't expect you to forgive me right away. I don't dare ask for a return. I just want you to know, there was a Jamie who loved you deeply, who dreamed of a future together. I'm sorry for hurting you, sorry for letting selfishness and ignorance come between us. You have the right to be angry, to refuse to forgive. If one day you want to move forward, I'll be there, waiting. No title, no pressure, just sincere feelings. J. The letter moved Amelia, but not to open her heart right away. It reminded her of beautiful moments, sincere words, shared dreams. It also reminded her, an apology may be sincere, but it doesn't always heal the wound. She left the letter on the table, not rushing to act. She knew, forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's accepting the past without letting it control you. The spread of news, the public reaction. During those weeks, social media was filled with debate. Amelia has the right not to forgive. The wound is too big. What should Jamie do to make amends? Does forgiveness mean being soft-hearted or strong? In the relationship between the public and the artist, who is the loser? Some newspapers wrote psychological analysis articles. Some people think Amelia is keeping her pride, not wanting to be seen as weak. Some people say that even if Jamie tries to make peace, without concrete actions, an apology is just words. Some defended Jamie, saying he was also tired of the media pressure, that he was human. An online poll was held. Should Amelia forgive or refuse? Over 60% of the responses said she should refuse if she wasn't ready. Amelia read those comments like a spectator watching the storm outside the window. She didn't join the debate, didn't refute each person, she just continued to live in the music, in the rainy days, in the naps and the mornings writing music. Jamie's inside look. Jamie, after all the waiting room interviews, the repeated apologies, still felt empty. He spent sleepless nights, writing down his feelings in his diary, going to the little church in the suburbs to sit quietly. He remembered the beginning, Amelia's eyes when she smiled, her fingers stroking his hair, the songs she gave him. He remembered her sitting at the piano, him sitting quietly listening to her play. He remembered the times she said, "You're the first person to make me believe in lasting love." Now he felt he had done wrong, not because he loved someone else, but because he had let himself be tempted by distance, because he had neglected, because he had not cared enough, because he had made her feel lonely even when she was with him. He wanted to start over, not for the public, not for his image, but because he could no longer continue with the pangs of guilt. He planned to send more personal apologies, to suggest a private meeting, to propose a reconciliation, but he didn't know if Amelia would accept. The unexpected meeting. One hazy afternoon, Amelia's manager sent a message. Amelia wants to talk to Jamie privately, if you're willing. Jamie took the message as a fragile signal. He prepared himself, prepared his most sincere words. The meeting was held in a small cafe by the sea, a place few people knew about. When Jamie arrived first, he saw Amelia sitting by the window, her eyes silently looking out to sea. She was wearing a grey sweater, her hair loose. He came and sat across from her, the air between them heavy. They were silent for a long time. Then Jamie spoke. Amelia, thank you for coming. I don't expect you to forgive me right away. I just hope we can talk to each other, not online, not in the press. Amelia breathed a sigh of relief. You hurt me, Jamie. More than once. I tried to understand, tried to wait, tried to hold on. But my heart can't take the uncertainty, the lack of certainty forever. He bowed his head. I know. I regret not realizing it sooner. I know that just apologizing won't help much. But if you give me a chance, however small, to make it right, I will. I will do my best. She looked up at him. Chance isn't in words. It's in action, in time, in patience. They talked for hours, no plans to make up, no big promises. Just talking, the pain, the memories, the hopes left behind. When dusk fell, they stood up. Jamie said, You need time, I understand. Amelia nodded, her eyes slightly red. They parted in the simplicity of the streetlights, shedding more mud and coal. After that meeting, Amelia was in no hurry to forgive. She kept her determination in silence. She returned to the studio and began writing a new album, titled The Wounds the Grace. With each note, she told her story, not to be interpreted by others. The album was released a few months later. The lyrics were simple, the guitars were sad, the lyrics were sincere. It became a musical phenomenon. Listeners felt like they were listening to their own stories. Many songs mentioned, when forgiveness cannot enter the wound that still bleeds. At the same time, Jamie was also struggling professionally, nitpicking articles, repeated questions, delayed contracts. He had a few projects on strike, but audiences no longer saw him as just a romantic male lead. Now they saw a person with hurt, with remorse. A reporter asked, Will Amelia forgive you? Jamie didn't give a clear answer. He just said, I appreciate everything, but right now I'm just doing my job, hoping over time things can